So many people have been writing the show desperate for any update on the death of Shanquella Robinson. Her family is desperate too. By now, the videos perhaps popped up in your timeline on social media. It's just so damaging just to see it. Imagine what she went through. There is a significant update. The FBI is now on the case with the field office out of Charlotte investigating her death. And let's remind you, this young woman's family also working to find answers, piece together her final moments, what happened to her as well. Here's what we know. Let's show you that because her family is speaking out as well today. As we said, the FBI office in Charlotte has opened the investigation. The 25-year-old Robinson, 6 of her friends arrived in Cabo San Lucas. That was on October 28th. Less than 24 hours later, she was dead. NBC News is reporting that Mexican authorities have released very little information, but police in Cabo San Lucas, they have also confirmed in a separate statement that they too are investigating her death. This young woman's 58-year-old father, Bernard Robinson, believes his daughter was set up after seeing, can you imagine this father, seeing the brutal video circulating online of his daughter being beaten up. Atlanta Black Star has this from the father, an emotional interview. He gave it to TMZ. It was posted the same day of Shanquella Robinson's funeral. Bernard Robinson wanted the narrative to be clear about his daughter. And here's what he says. There was no physical altercation. They attacked her, he said. And he added that his daughter is not the fighting type as displayed in this horrific video, her unwillingness to fight back while being attacked by an unnamed woman. Still don't have an identity on the woman in the video. Let's put up a still. We've chosen not to show you any more of this disgusting video, her final moments alive, naked, vulnerable. Shanquella's being beaten. And it certainly does support the idea that something more nefarious occurred here. The grieving father said this: it just seems like that was a plot because they couldn't have done that here, meaning at home where all her friends are. It wouldn't have went down like that, her father says. Jackson, in just thinking about what she went through, and I mean it, I can't watch. I cannot look when this pops up on the timeline. But just thinking about what her family's going through. Your daughter goes on vacation, then you get a phone call. The people that she left with say alcohol poisoning. She's never coming home to you. And then that video surfaces. You can't unsee it, but you're desperate for answers. What are your thoughts?
Well, first, my thoughts is I can't even imagine being in that situation. I don't have any children, so it's not something that, I can't even imagine that type of pain. But clearly, I agree that this was a situation that she, just got beat down like that in another country that likely, obviously had some premeditated thought put into it. And it's definitely important, not just that the family gets closure and justice, but these types of things are important for foreign relations. So it's important that the United States and the Mexican authorities really get to the bottom of this, not just to, again, provide closure and justice for the family, but to make sure that these types of things aren't, instances that people fear as they go, whether it be to Mexico or to other countries. So it's important that this really gets seen through publicly.
Yeah, and as I said, so many people have been writing, and they want, and Dr. Richey is going to stay on this. Indisputable will stay on the story. The father, let's show you more of what he had to say. His daughter's silence. He is her voice, if you will, at this point. And here's what else he said, reflecting on the moments he's going to miss with his daughter, with emotions pouring over. They put a hole in my heart. That was my only child. I can't even be a granddaddy, can't even walk her down the aisle, can't even hear her say, Daddy. The family was told by his daughter's friends she died from alcohol poisoning, but he is not convinced that's the truth. Her body arrived back in the US. Mr. Robinson said she had bruises on her face. Another quote, I cried like a baby when I opened that box, saw her there. She had a knot on the corner of her head. Her lip was cut. Her eye was swollen. Deep down in my heart, I knew it was not alcohol poisoning. Her family also told the local news station WBTV of Charlotte that an autopsy report states Shanquella's neck had been broken and her spinal cord was cracked. It is something that it's just horrific. I have one child. To think about what your child went through, final moments, thinking perhaps until at some point she was amongst friends, and now what? As we said, we're going to keep following the story, desperate for answers. Final thoughts from you, Jackson?
Yeah, I think just the explanation of the alcohol poisoning was ridiculous. Even if there weren't bruises on her and there wasn't so much physical damage, I mean, it's not like she was a 19 or 18-year-old and hadn't had any experience with drinking at all. So, again, that explanation was ridiculous from the beginning. But, again, what happened to her was tragic, and hopefully full justice can be served in this case.
Yeah, and here's what we know about the person who filmed it. Not much, but I think it's fine to speculate in this case. Either you are part of this thing or you are lacking humanity in the moment because you're filming this and not assisting this woman, again, in her final moments. It's just horrific to think about. As I said, we'll keep following it.